Okay, so we are going to now begin a little practice of drawing with a black brush in Photoshop. So what we covered in class to get going with this was Window, Workspace, and Reset Essentials once you've opened up your file, and that will set everything back where it's supposed to be. The next thing that we talked about is if you do Command plus on your keyboard, you can zoom in. If you do Command minus, you can zoom out. And if you do Command or Window key and 0, it will bring it back. All of these options, by the way, are here underneath the View option at the top, where you can zoom in, zoom out, and fit on screen. The other thing that you should just note is you'll notice that the word Photoshop is right next to the apple in the top corner, letting me know that I am in fact in Photoshop. If I was to click the desktop, you'll notice that it changes to Finder. So be sure that you are actually in Photoshop and that it says Photoshop, so you get all the options that you need up at the top. So we did zoom in, zoom out, and fit on screen. There's also a layers panel here at the bottom, which we talked about in class. And just to remind you, I have a layer of white, then a layer of the girl, and she's brought down to 64% opacity. That's why she looks lighter. You can kind of see through her into the white. And then we have an outlines layer on top. The outlines layer with this checkerboard pattern means that it's empty, like a sheet of glass or tracing paper. Think of it that way. And we're going to stay on that layer. We're going to go over to our toolbar on the left-hand side of our screen. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tools down, and we're going to click and hold, and you'll see that there are tools hiding in here. Any tool that has this little arrow in the corner means that there are hidden tools inside. So if I click and hold on this one, I get all these 4 different tools. We want the regular brush tool for this project. After you select the brush tool, at the very bottom of your screen here on the left-hand side where the toolbars are, you'll see 4 boxes actually. You want black as your foreground color, so the front box on top here should be black. If it's not, you can always click these 2 little black and white boxes to get back to the default of black and white. Okay, so mine's black right now, perfect. I have the brush, that's perfect. At the top of my screen here, you'll see options. These are all options for the brush. So what options do I want? Well, first off, I want to be sure that the size of the brush is correct. So right here, this little arrow next to the number, I'm going to click that. I'm going to choose about a 3 or a 4 size brush for this project and a hardness of 100%. The kind of brush should be this hard round brush. We will use other brushes in the future, but for now this is the one you're going to be using. You'll notice the difference here. If I was to make the brush bigger and draw over here, you'll see this hard chiseled edge kind of brush, obviously way too big. If I was to bring down the hardness of the brush, you're going to get something that looks like this. It's got that fuzzy feathery edge. Excuse me. So what we want is, again, hard edge brush, and then the size you can even type in. I'm going to put a 3. At the very top here where it says mode, make sure it says normal. Opacity 100 for now. Flow 100. And smoothing is something you can play with, and I'll show you how it works in a little bit. Then what you're going to do is, again, you got black as your color, you got the brush, all the settings are good, you're on the outlines layer. Now you're going to zoom in, Command plus, 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 plus. I don't care where you start. By the way, if you hold the space bar, it'll automatically turn into the hand tool, which then you can click and move around your screen. You can also, where that hand tool is located, over here, hand tool, or hit space bar to get to it, you have the rotate view tool, and if you click that tool, all you have to do is go onto your screen and click, and you can rotate to get the angle that you want. Sometimes it's easier to draw at a particular angle. If you want to reset that view, you just go up to the top left corner here, you click reset view, and everything will snap back to where it's supposed to be. Okay, once you've done that, you're going to go back to the, very good, okay, you're on the brush tool, okay, you're zoomed in, so you are going to start drawing as best you can all the detail that you see. No line has to be perfectly continuous. You can do individual lines wherever you need. You're trying to get as much detail as you possibly can. So I'm clicking and dragging, clicking and dragging. Now, as you get through this, you will find that it's not so easy, and you have to get adjusted to what you see and how the mouse follows your hand. So you're going to do your best to kind of do that. You can do continuous lines here, like if you'd like. I'm just kind of outlining where this shadow is. You can do that. You can outline your shadows, but certainly what you want to do is you want to outline at least the lines of the face that you see. The more detail you give it, the more it will, again, look like the person. Now, if you want to, I'm going to draw some extra lines here just so I can show you a step. Okay. With eyelashes and things, you can like do a continuous line like this, or you can draw individual lines. That's fine. Totally up to you how you want to draw stuff. If I was to draw a line, let's say I'm going to draw a line here. If I do edit undo, which is Command Z or Windows key and Z, it's going to undo that step. I can continue to do that going back, and undo, like going back in time. If I go to edit and redo brush, which is Shift Command Z, I can go forward in time. Just like that. So you can do things with the keyboard shortcut, or you can do them here under edit. So you've got that. What if you draw something and you mess it up, but then you continue back on a good streak and you just want to fix a little portion of it? If that happens to you, go over to your toolbar, go down to this tool here. It's called the erase tool. It looks like the back of an eraser. You're going to click on that. When you do click on that, you'll see a size of it. Right now it looks pretty big, and that's okay. But you can change the size of it just like you would a brush. You can change the size of it here, make sure it's in brush mode, opacity 100, and then when you go over to that portion, like over here, I can just get rid of the part that I don't like, go back to the brush, and then continue from there. So you're going to get as much black line as you can, as much detail as you can. In order for you to check it and see the work you've done, go over to your layers panel and take away the little eyeball next to the layer of the girl, and you'll be able to see what you've done without anything else on the screen. It makes it a little easier to see the work you've done and know what else you still have to do. I'm going to turn that eyeball back on, and because I gave you this file, all you have to do when you're done doing it is do regular file and regular save. You don't have to do save as or save as copy. We'll do that later in the year when we make a brand new project. But because I gave you this and it was already saved once, you just have to do a regular save, or you could do Command S on your keyboard or Windows key and S on your keyboard. Then you can close it after you save it. All right, I'm not going to save this one, but you should save yours. And then you can go to the apple in the top corner and go to log out. We will be doing the coloring of this image soon, but that's the first step, the black and white or black outline.